Let's turn to your new legislation, which would increase the number of special immigrant visas, or SIVs, for the Afghan allies left behind. It would go from 4,000 to 20,000 under your proposal. It requires the State Department to address this massive backlog in applicants. Now, you've been working on this SIV program, Special Immigrant Visa Program, for years. What is the price tag on this new effort? And how are you going to sell this to Republicans who don't seem all that interested?
Well, look, we have a responsibility to those Afghans who risk their lives to help our men and women serving in Afghanistan. And many of those Afghans saved American lives. I met 4 of them earlier this week in New Hampshire who helped our military who are in New Hampshire, who are waiting to get a green card to start their lives again. They have families in Afghanistan who are being threatened by the Taliban. We have a responsibility. That's what this legislation is about. And it really comes from a report that my office did last fall that looked at the Special Immigrant Visa Program. I've been working on this for over 10 years, starting with John McCain back when he was in the Senate. And this is an attempt to reduce the backlog, to help all of those Afghans who we made a promise to, and to ensure that they can get to safety, that they can start new lives, they can get to work.
So the Afghan Adjustment Act, which would make evacuated Afghans eligible for permanent U.S. residency, as you know, that failed to be included in the omnibus spending bill last year, even though it had bipartisan support. And it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the main reason is that Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa blocked it over concerns about the vetting process. The White House has pushed for it to be reintroduced. There have been efforts made, as I don't need to tell you, to assure him and improve the vetting process. Are you and your colleagues ever going to be able to change Grassley's mind? And is he going to continue to be able to stand in the way of something that I think would pass the Senate with bipartisan support?
Well, as you know, the Afghan Adjustment Act is separate from the Special Immigrant Visa Program. And sadly, for many years, Senator Grassley did everything he could to block our ability to get Afghans here under the SIV program. I think the Afghan Adjustment Act, they're working with Senator Cotton, with some other senators, to try and address some of the concerns. I do think that bill will get reintroduced, and it's important for us to allow Afghans here in the United States who have been cleared to be in this country to go to work, to start new lives. You know, we have a workforce shortage in New Hampshire and across this country. Why don't we let those Afghans who have already demonstrated their loyalty to America to go to work, to help us, and to start new lives?
But is Grassley going to stand in the way of your new legislation, I guess would be my follow-up?
Well, we hope not. This is a bipartisan bill. Senator Roger Wicker, who's the ranking member of the Armed Services Committee, is my partner on this legislation. He's been a great partner taking over from John McCain, and he understands as much as anyone how critical it is for us to keep our promise to those Afghans who risk their lives to help Americans.
Democratic Senator Jean Shaheen of the great state of New Hampshire, thanks so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Nice to be with you.